The sun is setting and here we are in the heart of the city, Berlin Mitte. And tonight we've got the ultimate camera comparison battle between these four beasts. Here we have the Xiaomi 15 Ultra, the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, the Vivo X200 Pro, and the iPhone 16 Pro Max. But which one of these bad boys will win tonight's competition? Let's find out. For our camera comparisons, we always award points based on how many devices are in the test. Since we've got 4 phones in this one, the max score for each category is 4. Also, we evaluate all the photos and videos using a calibrated monitor to keep things as accurate as possible. For the main camera, the iPhone 16 Pro Max has a 48 megapixel lens, while both the Xiaomi 15 Ultra and Vivo X200 Pro come with 50 megapixel sensors. The Galaxy S25 Ultra carries a massive 200 megapixel camera. In this first round, with night mode off, Xiaomi crushes some shadows, and along with the Galaxy, both fail to capture detail in the bright areas of the shot. These two, plus the iPhone, show quite a bit of noise in the sky. Vivo does a great job preserving detail in both highlights and shadows, though the colors are a bit too saturated. As some of you might have noticed, we posted these shots with night mode turned on as part of a blind test on our socials. And here are the results. In 4th place with 11.3% of your votes was Photo D. That one was taken by Vivo. 3rd place goes to Photo C with 24%, which came from the iPhone. In 2nd place with 27.2% was Photo A from Xiaomi. And taking the win with 37.5% of the votes was Photo B, which was of course the Galaxy. So with that, here's how the scores stack up. And honestly, we agree that the Galaxy's photo looks great. That said, we do think it smooths out my face a little bit too much, but that's just us. Alright, moving on, in this shot of the Berliner Dom, Xiaomi really struggles with the highlights. Vivo leans too blue in the sky, just like Xiaomi. The Galaxy and the iPhone both deliver a more natural night look with good highlight control, but the iPhone does capture a bit more detail. With night mode on, Xiaomi looks sharper this time, but still blows out the highlights. The Galaxy oddly has a lot of smooth noise in the sky. The iPhone shows similar dynamic range to the Galaxy, but handles noise way better. Vivo comes out super sharp, though the saturation is still a bit too high. Now let's move on to a few ultra-wide examples. Ultra-wide is a great mode to capture more of the scenery in your photos. And as before, we'll be comparing photos with night mode on versus off. Here, the iPhone has a 48 megapixel ultra-wide lens, while the rest all come with slightly larger 50 megapixel sensors. Here, the iPhone comes underexposed with deep shadows and a noticeable lack of detail. Xiaomi is a bit brighter, but the colors are off. The Galaxy is almost color accurate, but it's loaded with noise. Vivo does an impressive job with shadow detail, but the colors are again a little off. With night mode on, the iPhone still has a noticeable lack of detail, while Xiaomi swings the other way with heavy over-sharpening. The Galaxy captures a natural-looking detail, but the contrast feels a bit flat. Vivo delivers balanced sharpness and solid exposure. Alright, hear me out. For this one with night mode off, we're not giving out any points because the scene was pitch black. So these shots are just to give you an idea of what to expect in extreme low light. Now, with night mode on, the iPhone still fails to capture detail. Just look at my coat. The Galaxy is pretty bright, but the contrast is far too low. Xiaomi actually nails the colors this time, though also lacks some detail. Vivo actually captures good detail, but the colors are definitely overboosted. Now let's take a quick look at the optical lenses and see how they handle dark conditions. Here we're using the second telephoto lenses on the Galaxy and Xiaomi. Therefore, the iPhone features a 12 megapixel camera with 5 times optical zoom. The Galaxy steps it up with a 50 megapixel sensor, also with 5 times zoom. Meanwhile, both Vivo and Xiaomi come with massive 200 megapixel sensors, offering 3.7 times optical zoom on Vivo and 4.3 times on Xiaomi. Here we're gonna let the phones decide whether to use night mode or not, switching to automatic night mode. Honestly, we were expecting better results from the telephoto lenses, cause all 4 photos came out pretty rough. Even Xiaomi and Vivo, despite their bigger sensors, didn't really pull it off here. In the next shot, things get even weirder. Xiaomi is just a blurry mess, the Galaxy is basically pitch black, and the iPhone is drowning in noise. Vivo isn't perfect by any means, but at least it manages to pull out some detail. In this shot, the Galaxy once again shows a lot of noise and has a slight green tint. Both the iPhone and Xiaomi do a better job with detail, one leans more contrasty, the other more natural. But once again, Vivo captures the most detail. Just check out the tiny text on the door. It's time for a personal favorite, portrait mode. Let's see which one of these gives us the best edge detection while still maintaining details. With the main lenses at 1x zoom, the Galaxy is blurry and its edge detection is pretty rough. The iPhone also struggles with edges, but the image is noticeably sharper, though the colors are a bit off. Xiaomi and Vivo are tied, both delivering great colors. However, Xiaomi nails the exposure while Vivo excels in edge detection. Here, Xiaomi nails the colors but loses some detail in the shadows. The Galaxy leans a bit too warm but handles dynamic range better. The iPhone also nails the dynamic range, but the colors are way too cold. Vivo is the only one that manages to capture the bag's zipper correctly, but its colors are super oversaturated. Switching to the telephoto lenses, the iPhone shaves half of my head. The Galaxy goes with cooler tones, but hey, at least I keep my hair. Xiaomi does better with edge detection, but the image looks blurry. Vivo captures a very solid shot here, despite the tricky setup. In the second shot, the iPhone is out of the game with that crazy amount of noise. The Galaxy looks pretty dark and has a noticeably cold tone. Vivo has nice colors, but we think Xiaomi takes the win here with the best edge detection and a much more accurate representation of the scene. Up front, both the iPhone and the Galaxy come with 12-megapixel cameras, while Xiaomi and Vivo bump it up with a larger 32-megapixel sensors. Here, the mighty Vivo falls, delivering tons of noise and way too much face smoothing. The iPhone comes out super blurry and gives my skin a red tint. Samsung has more detail, but the overall tone is just too cold. Xiaomi captures a very sharp image, and the skin tones look spot on, not bad. In this second shot, it's pretty much the same story. Vivo overprocesses everything, the iPhone is still blurry, and the Galaxy comes out way too cold. Once again, Xiaomi takes the win in our eyes with really natural-looking skin tones. For front camera video, all 4 phones support up to 4K 60fps, but for consistency and fairness, we always shoot in 4K 30fps. Honestly, all the videos in this scene are super blurry, Xiaomi and Samsung both being especially dark. The iPhone reveals a bit more of the scene, but still nothing great. Vivo does manage to capture a bit more detail, but for some reason, the whole shot turns completely green. With the main lens, Xiaomi, Vivo, and the Galaxy can go up to 8K 30fps, while the iPhone focuses on high frame rates, maxing out at 4K 120fps. But again, all our videos are shot at 4K 30fps. In this well-lit scene, Xiaomi is super shaky. Vivo is very sharp, but there's a slight green tint in the shadows. Samsung and the iPhone have the most accurate colors overall. And even though the iPhone is a bit brighter than the Galaxy, those lens reflections are hard to ignore. In this darker scene, both Xiaomi and the Galaxy come out pretty dark and are a bit saturated. The iPhone, while bright, nails the white balance, but once again suffers from lens reflections and misses a lot of detail. Vivo does a much better job capturing detail, though the shadows are still a bit green. For ultra-wide video, Xiaomi and the Galaxy also support up to 8K 30fps, while Vivo and the iPhone cap out at 4K 60fps. And yup, we still film at 4K 30fps across the board. Here, all the phones take a hit in quality, with Xiaomi and the iPhone losing the most detail. However, the iPhone does the best job handling bright lights. This time, both the Galaxy and Vivo capture the most detail out of the bunch, but the Galaxy catches the most correct colors compared to Vivo. In extreme dark conditions, it's clear all the phones really struggle to capture much of anything. That said, the iPhone, despite being riddled with noise, is the only one that at least manages to show a bit of what's going on in the scene. Here, even though the iPhone nails the colors, it barely applies any portrait blur, even with the mode turned on. The Galaxy adds some blur, but the video is so dark it's hard to see much. Xiaomi and Vivo both apply the most portrait blur, but Vivo does capture the more balanced colors. Alright, let's do a quick summary and see who the winner is. Our scoring system is based on order of importance, giving higher percentages to more popular categories like main camera, ultra-wide, and telephoto, for example, while assigning lower percentages to less popular categories, such as portrait mode. For example, in photos taken with the main lens, Xiaomi scored 6 general points, with 20% of this equaling 1.8 final points, and so on with the next phones and categories. So here's how things turned out. For the main camera, the Galaxy and iPhone tied with the most points. In the ultra-wide category, Vivo took the lead. For portrait mode, both Xiaomi and Vivo came out even. In the video category, Vivo was the clear winner once again. When it came to the front camera, Xiaomi took the top spot. And finally, for telephoto, Vivo dominated. So in fourth place, we have actually no one, because both the Xiaomi 15 Ultra and the iPhone 16 Pro Max tied for third place. Xiaomi impressed with its selfie game, while the iPhone held strong with its main lens performance. That means that first place goes to, yep, you probably guessed it, it's the Vivo X200 Pro. No surprise, it crushed it in portrait mode, but what did surprise us was how solid its video performance turned out. So coming in second place is the Galaxy S25 Ultra, which also did a great job, especially with its main camera. But we're curious, which one of these is your favorite and why? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and of course you will find links to all of these phones in the description below. If you want to check out a full deep dive camera comparison with these same devices, hit that link right over here. And before you go, be sure to leave a big thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and make sure to subscribe, as we're always testing new devices to help you decide what is best for you. We'll see you in our next video, and until then, take care.